A tiny silver clip on the side of a billionaire's head went viral. But it might be the start of a new idea about aging. This is Temple, and the claim is wild. Gravity could be making us age faster. Let's unpack whether a small wearable on your temple can actually measure brain blood flow and whether it could ever help slow aging. Welcome back to the Solo Engineer. Today, we are diving into Temple, what it is, the science behind the gravity aging hypothesis, how a wearable could measure cerebral blood flow, and whether this is realistic or just tech hype. What if the person who optimized food delivery for millions is now trying to optimize the human brain itself? Why is Zomato's founder suddenly talking about gravity, aging, and brain blood flow? This is not a side project, this is a mindset shift. To understand Temple, you first need to understand how Deepinder Goyal thinks. At Zomato, Goyal didn't just build a food app, he built systems. Demand prediction, delivery optimization, latency reduction, human behavior at scale. Zomato taught him one brutal truth. Small inefficiencies, repeated millions of times, create massive outcomes. And that idea didn't stop with food delivery. At some point, Goyal started asking a different question. What if the human body is also a system? What if aging is not random, but a long-term systems failure? Just like cities, just like logistics, just like supply chains. The body also runs on flows. And that's where his thinking quietly shifted. His research direction beyond Zomato. Outside Zomato, Goyal has been funding and exploring independent research under continue research. Not pharma, not supplements, not miracle cures, but first principles questions like what actually drives aging, what signals break first, what is upstream, not downstream. And one idea stood out: the gravity aging hypothesis. The hypothesis is simple and uncomfortable. For 16 hours every day, we stay upright. Gravity constantly pulls blood away from the brain. Over decades, that tiny reduction may starve deep brain regions, like the hypothalamus and brainstem, which control hormones, immunity, temperature, and autonomic balance. Brain aging becomes body aging. So, where does Temple come in? This is where Temple enters the picture. Temple is not a consumer gadget. It's not a medical device. It is a measurement tool. Because Goyal believes you can't fix what you can't continuously measure. AI inside Temple. Here's the real innovation. AI. When you put a sensor on the temple, the data is messy. Skin blood flow, muscle movement, jaw motion, posture changes. No human can separate that. But AI can. Temple uses AI models to clean noisy biological signals, learn individual baseline patterns, detect changes caused by posture and gravity, compare upright versus lying down states over long periods. This is not diagnosis, this is pattern discovery. AI becomes the lens, the brain becomes the dataset. Reality check. Now let's be clear. This hypothesis is not proven, the device is not clinically validated, and the science is still evolving. But that's how real research starts. Data first, validation later. Why this shift makes sense for Goyal? When you zoom out, this shift makes sense. Zomato optimizes external flows: food, time, movement. Temple is about understanding internal flows: blood, signals, aging. Same mindset, different system. Temple may fail. The hypothesis may be refined or rejected. But the real question is bigger. What if aging is not just chemistry, biology, but it is physics? And what if the next big breakthroughs don't come from pills, but from measuring the body better than ever before? This is not about immortality. It's about understanding ourselves one data point at a time. If you want a follow-up where we break down whether Temple can actually be proven scientifically, subscribe. The story is just getting started. If you learned something new from this story of Temple of Deepinder Goyal's mindset, hit like, subscribe, and share with someone who loves problems solved the smart way. Catch you in the next story on The Solo Engineer, where tech meets real life. Thank you.